What if the most valuable insights about money, relationships, and success, lessons that took billionaires 5 decades to discover, could be downloaded into your brain in just 10 minutes? Would that be worth your time? Have you ever wondered why some people with average incomes build substantial wealth while others making 6 figures still live paycheck to paycheck? Or why certain individuals seem to navigate life's challenges with remarkable ease while others remain stuck in patterns of frustration and blame? Warren Buffett once revealed, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." This counterintuitive wisdom hints at deeper truths about life that most people never grasp, even after decades of struggle. In this video, I'm going to share the 6 transformative principles that completely revolutionized my journey from financial struggle to abundance. These aren't theoretical concepts from a self-help book. They're battle-tested insights I've personally validated through decades of trial, error, and eventual success. You'll discover why your income has surprisingly little to do with your financial outcomes, how to identify the unique value proposition that can exponentially increase your earning potential, and the hidden dimension of wealth that 95% of people completely overlook until it's too late. What makes these principles so powerful is that they work regardless of your current circumstances, whether you're just starting out or trying to break through a midlife plateau. They address the fundamental patterns that determine success rather than superficial tactics that temporarily mask deeper issues. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share a profoundly simple daily practice that billionaire Ray Dalio credits as the foundation of his success. A practice that takes just 3 minutes but can permanently rewire how you approach every challenge and opportunity in your life. If you're ready to compress decades of hard-earned wisdom into minutes of actionable insight, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Drop a comment sharing which area of life you're most eager to transform, and let's begin this journey of accelerated growth together. Lesson 1: Income versus Wealth Management. The first transformative lesson I've learned over 5 decades is the profound distinction between earning money and keeping it. Your income, what shows up on your tax return, has surprisingly little correlation with actual wealth. I've known surgeons earning $600,000 annually who couldn't cover a $5,000 emergency, and school teachers with modest salaries who quietly accumulated millions. Warren Buffett captures this principle perfectly. It's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. This wisdom fundamentally changed my approach to finance when I finally grasped it in my 40s. Think of money as water flowing through your hands. Income is the flow rate, how much passes through each month. Wealth is what you manage to retain and direct into your reservoir. Most Americans focus exclusively on increasing the flow while ignoring the countless leaks in their financial bucket. The ancient Japanese practice of Kakibo, which translates roughly to household financial ledger, offers profound wisdom here. This 100-year-old money management system encourages asking 4 simple questions before each purchase. Is this purchase necessary? Can I afford it? Will I actually use it? Do I have space for it? These fundamental questions create a mindful pause between impulse and action. The turning point in my own journey came when I realized everything passing through my hands was simply on loan, temporarily entrusted to my stewardship. This perspective transformed my relationship with money from consumption to conservation and careful direction. Begin applying this principle by implementing what I call the 24-hour money management rule. For every dollar that enters your life, decide within 24 hours exactly where it belongs, whether allocated toward necessities, invested for growth, saved for security, or consciously spent on experiences that truly matter. This simple practice prevents financial drift and creates intentionality around every dollar. Remember, true financial freedom isn't about earning more, it's about needing less while directing your resources toward what genuinely creates value and security in your life. Lesson 2: Discovering your value proposition. The second life-changing insight I've gained is the profound understanding that every person on this planet arrives with a unique gift, talent, or perspective, what I call your value proposition. This isn't motivational fluff. It's the economic and spiritual foundation of a fulfilling life. Your deepest financial potential is almost always connected to this singular contribution only you can make. Warren Buffett speaks about this through his concept of the circle of competence, noting, "You don't have to be an expert on everything, but understanding the boundaries of your expertise can prevent major mistakes and highlight your unique advantages." This wisdom invites us to focus intensely on our distinctive strengths rather than diluting our energy across too many domains. What consistently separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who merely get by is clarity about their specific contribution. This isn't about becoming a celebrity or entrepreneur, it's about recognizing what you uniquely offer that others value. I spent my first 30 years chasing what I thought I should want: prestige, credentials, conventional success markers. Everything changed when I finally asked myself, what can I do with natural excellence and genuine joy that genuinely serves others? The answer didn't come immediately, but the question itself redirected my entire life trajectory. Start identifying your value proposition by reflecting on these 3 revealing questions. What problems do you solve naturally that others find difficult? When do you lose track of time because you're so absorbed in an activity? What do people consistently thank you for or come to you for help with? The intersection of these answers often reveals your unique contribution, the foundation of sustainable wealth and fulfillment that no market fluctuation can diminish. Lesson 3: The multiple dimensions of wealth. The third transformative lesson I've learned is that true wealth extends far beyond financial statements. In our culture's obsession with monetary metrics, we've lost sight of the original meaning of wealth, which derives from the Old English word weal, meaning well-being and prosperity in its fullest sense. This narrow focus creates the peculiar phenomenon of financially rich but profoundly impoverished lives. Warren Buffett captured this wisdom beautifully when he said, "When you get to my age, you'll measure your success in life by how many of the people you want to have love you actually do love you." Despite his billions, Buffett recognizes that relational wealth ultimately provides the deepest satisfaction. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of financial security but places it within a more comprehensive framework of flourishing. I've identified 6 distinct dimensions of wealth that collectively create a truly abundant life: financial capital, intellectual capital, social capital, physical capital, spiritual capital, and experiential capital. Financial struggle in one dimension can often be offset by abundance in others, a truth I've witnessed repeatedly among the truly resilient. The ancient Iroquois concept of 7 generations offers profound wisdom here. When making decisions, the Iroquois considered impacts not just on themselves but on 7 generations into the future. This perspective naturally expands our definition of wealth beyond immediate financial gain to consider the legacy we create across multiple dimensions. My own revelation about multidimensional wealth came after achieving financial goals only to discover a hollowness that no amount of money could fill. I had built financial capital while neglecting my health, relationships, and spiritual grounding. This imbalance taught me that genuine prosperity requires attention to all dimensions of wealth. Begin expanding your wealth consciousness by conducting what I call a wealth wheel assessment. Rate your current abundance in each of the 6 dimensions from 1 to 10, then identify one specific investment you can make this week in your most depleted area. This simple practice prevents the common pattern of sacrificing critical dimensions of well-being in pursuit of financial gain alone. Lesson 4: Value delivery equals financial growth. The fourth transformative lesson I've learned is that financial growth is directly proportional to your capacity to deliver value to increasing numbers of people. This principle operates like a mathematical formula. Your financial ceiling is determined by how many lives you touch multiplied by how much value you provide to each person. Understanding this equation fundamentally changes your approach to income generation. Warren Buffett expressed this principle elegantly when he said, "Figure out what you're passionate about, then find someone who's willing to pay you for it." This seemingly simple advice contains profound wisdom about the connection between value creation and financial reward. Money follows value delivery, not education, credentials, or even effort alone. Most Americans limit their financial potential by thinking exclusively in terms of hourly compensation or annual salary. This framework inherently caps your earning potential because there are only so many hours in a day. The breakthrough comes when you shift from selling your time to scaling your impact. This is why a teacher earning $60,000 annually might write a book that impacts millions and generates exponentially more income while delivering the same core value, education. When you benefit many people, the rewards return to you multiplied. This perspective reframes financial growth not as extraction but as the natural result of widespread contribution. My own financial breakthrough came when I stopped asking, "How can I make more money?" and started asking, "How can I serve more people with what I do best?" This subtle shift led me to explore systems, technologies, and platforms that could extend my reach beyond one-to-one interactions to one-to-many value delivery. Start applying this principle by identifying your value scaling potential. Specific ways your current expertise or offering could be systematized, digitized, or otherwise multiplied to reach more people. Then create one specific asset this month that delivers your value beyond your physical presence. This might be a guide, template, video series, or automated system. The key is breaking the direct connection between your time and your impact, allowing your value to spread exponentially while your income follows suit. Lesson 5. Time as the ultimate currency. The fifth and perhaps most profound lesson I've learned is that time, not money, is the ultimate currency of life. While we obsess over financial metrics, bank balances, and investment returns, we often squander the truly finite resource that gives everything else its value. This awakening typically comes too late for most people, a deathbed realization rather than a guiding principle for life's prime years. Warren Buffett addresses this wisdom through his famous Buffett time rule. When his personal pilot complained about not achieving his life goals, Buffett advised him to write down 25 goals, circle the top 5, and then treat the remaining 20 as absolute distractions to be avoided at all costs. This ruthless prioritization reflects Buffett's understanding that time allocation, more than financial allocation, determines life's quality and impact. The modern American lifestyle has created what I call the time illusion, the persistent belief that we'll have more time, someday, to do what matters most. We postpone meaningful experiences, important conversations, and purposeful work for an imagined future that often never materializes. This postponement extracts an enormous cost that no financial success can compensate for. I witnessed this reality painfully through my mentor Richard, a brilliant executive who devoted decades to climbing the corporate ladder. At 67, fully financially secure but diagnosed with aggressive cancer, he told me with tears in his eyes, "I saved all my living for retirement, and now I won't have one." His financial portfolio was impressive, but his time portfolio, how he had invested his years, left him with profound regret. My own relationship with time transformed when I began conducting what I call mortality math. At 50, assuming an 80-year lifespan, I had roughly 10,950 days remaining. This sobering calculation created an urgency about how I allocated each day. It wasn't about creating anxiety but generating clarity about what deserved my finite attention. Begin reclaiming your relationship with time through the Time Wealth Audit. For 1 week, track every half hour of your day, then assess which activities generated energy, meaning, and value versus which ones depleted you without comparable return. This exercise invariably reveals that most people invest their precious time by default rather than design. Time, unlike money, can never be earned back once spent, a reality that fundamentally alters how you approach each day when fully embraced. Lesson 6. The People Challenge. The sixth and perhaps most nuanced lesson I've learned is that relationships represent both life's greatest challenge and its greatest reward. While we often focus on technical skills, financial strategies, and personal development, the ability to navigate human connections ultimately determines much of our success and fulfillment. This reality becomes increasingly evident with each passing decade. Warren Buffett captured this wisdom when he observed, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it." This insight extends beyond business to the fragile nature of all human connections. The relationships we build, maintain, and sometimes must release shape our opportunities, resilience, and legacy far more than most of the metrics we obsess over. What makes the people challenge particularly complex is that your growth inevitably changes your relationships. As you evolve, some connections naturally strengthen while others strain or dissolve altogether. This isn't necessarily anyone's fault, it's the natural consequence of personal development. Understanding this dynamic can prevent much unnecessary guilt and resentment. I witnessed this reality through my friend Marcus, a construction worker who built a successful real estate investment business in his spare time. As his financial situation improved and his focus shifted, he noticed concerning patterns in how some longtime friends responded. They'd make subtle jokes about me forgetting where I came from or becoming too good for them, he shared. What they couldn't see is that I wasn't rejecting them. I was simply embracing a new vision for my life that they weren't comfortable with. My own relationship insights crystallized when I recognized that every person in my life belonged to one of three categories: elevators who lifted me higher, anchors who provided necessary stability, and weights who consistently pulled me down. This framework didn't demonize any category, all served purposes, but it clarified the importance of mindful relationship cultivation. Begin applying this wisdom through what I call relationship portfolio management. Just as you would diversify financial investments, consciously invest your relational energy across connections that provide different types of value, growth relationships that challenge you, supportive relationships that nurture you, and legacy relationships that extend your impact. This intentional approach treats relationships as precious assets requiring strategic investment rather than leaving them to chance or circumstance. As we come to the end of our journey together, I want to share the practice that ties all these lessons together, what I promised at the beginning. It's the 3-minute daily ritual that billionaire Ray Dalio credits as the foundation of his success: intentional reflection. Each morning, ask yourself, what truly matters today? And each evening, what did I learn today that will make tomorrow better? This simple practice creates the awareness that transforms information into wisdom. The 6 lessons we've explored: understanding the difference between income and wealth, discovering your unique value proposition, recognizing the multiple dimensions of prosperity, scaling your impact through value delivery, treating time as your ultimate currency, and mastering the people challenge, form a comprehensive framework for living with purpose and abundance. What makes these principles particularly powerful is that they work synergistically. When you manage money effectively, you create the freedom to invest time wisely. When you discover your unique contribution, you naturally increase your capacity to deliver value to more people. When you nurture multiple forms of wealth, you build resilience that supports your journey through inevitable challenges. The common thread through every lesson is intentionality, the commitment to design your life rather than drift through it. In a world that constantly pulls us toward distraction and default patterns, conscious choice becomes your greatest superpower. I share these insights not because I've mastered them perfectly, but because I've experienced both the cost of ignoring them and the transformation that comes from applying them. The path of wisdom isn't about achieving perfection, it's about constant growth through applied knowledge. Your journey from here is uniquely yours. Some of these principles may resonate immediately while others might require further reflection. Trust your intuition about which lesson addresses your current season of life, and begin there. Small, consistent changes in thinking and behavior ultimately create profound shifts in outcomes. If you found value in these insights, please take a moment to hit the like button to help others discover this message. Share this video with someone who might benefit from decades of wisdom condensed into minutes. And if you're committed to living with greater purpose and prosperity, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for weekly wisdom that builds on these foundational principles. In the comments below, I'd love to hear which lesson resonated most deeply with you and one specific action you plan to take as a result. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear, and your commitment might inspire others to begin their own transformation. Thank you for investing these minutes with me. Remember, wisdom isn't measured by what you know, it's measured by how you live. Now go forward and apply what resonates, one intentional day at a time.